I literally got home from work and I went somewhere after work and I'm here recording instantly. It's a beautiful Monday. Also, kind of a hard Monday for your boy, you know? Remember how Willow threw up? Well, last night, or yesterday at around 5:30, I take her on a walk. She hadn't eaten all day. I took her for a walk and she just like starts convulsing and dry heaving. And I said, holy cat, it's time. Like that was the straw. I was like, I need to bring her to the vet. So I brought her to the 24-hour Mercy vet. I get there, they tell me that the wait for a bed is 8 to 10 hours. But a vet tech will be out every 30 minutes and they can go check on you. Whole time Willow's whimpering more than I've ever heard her whimper. She doesn't even my dog does not bark at all. She doesn't even do nothing. So she's whimpering a lot. She's pacing. She's real uncomfortable. I sit outside and I'm outside with her waiting for the tech to come, and the tech finally comes and she's kind of like, I don't know. I just told her like I just decided not to feed her, and she's like, no, if your dog has a foreign body inside, you need a feeder to help her pass it, and if she can't pass it, then she's just throwing all the food up that's like, needs for surgery and like just all this stuff. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not, she's like, I'm gonna take Willow out in bed in the back and do blood work, and the doctors to see her, but I can't tell you how long it's gonna be. And the weird thing is that in my area right now, a lot of people are getting sick. Like, people getting sick with the same exact sickness. Like, I know a lot of people in my life. And then when I get there, every dog that was there was experiencing like the exact same symptoms. And when the vet tech told me, she's like, yeah, like every dog here is for this, for throwing up in lethargy, whatever, being lethargic. And like, she's like, some of these dogs are in critical care, so you might not, it's gonna be hours. And it was already yesterday at 6 p.m. And I was like, dude, I want to go home. I will take her to the vet, to my primary vet tomorrow. And so, yeah, my girlfriend's right now at the vet with Willow, and they found, I don't know why that makes me so emotional. They found a lot of hookworms in her. And they are doing an X right now to see if she has a foreign body in case they have to do surgery. My little Willow. Oh, it makes me so sad. I'm gonna start crying. And then my girlfriend's like, it's okay. Like, worms are kind of normal. That's like a normal thing in dogs. But like, I just feel so bad because how long has she been kind of suffering without me getting her? Like, I should have went immediately, and been a better dad for her. So she's okay. She's doing well. She'll be back here real soon after they're done with the vet. My little girl. I love Willow. I love her so much. So that's going on today. There was something else I was thinking about a lot today. Oh. I think I was feeling ungrounded, right? Because I'm sitting there at work and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is like, I'm like, oh my god, let me start, like, I could do a bunch of, like, let me start doing some side hustles on the side for extra cash because I need money, right? So I'm like looking at, like, I was like, oh, I could do copywriting because I have a blog site that I haven't touched in like 9 months that is at 1 million impressions with no ads at all, just straight up organic SEO that I like taught myself. And so yeah, it's like, its average rank for each of my posts is like 9th, which is insane for Google. Like, for nothing, just organic. And so I thought, oh, I can. This is a great proof for companies. I can BS a resume, send out to a bunch of like freelance remote work, remote like content writing or copywriting or whatever. And I was sitting there, and it's like so outside of me though. And I'm like deep in this work. I'm like rewriting my resume. I'm like doing this and this, and then I paused and I was like, if I had all the money in the world, if money wasn't an issue for me, would I be doing this? And the answer is no, not at all. It's like, doesn't align with me. Like, I went back to that lack energy where it's like, I need money, I don't have money, I need this, I need more money, I need more this. And I was like, no, I don't. And it's like, what I know spiritually my body's having a hard time catching up to, or my mind and body are still trying to catch up to that. Because spiritually, it's like I know everything's like gonna work out for me. Everything's always working out for me, and like I'm in alignment, and I have everything I've ever wanted, right? But the more the more I start to identify with that, my mind and my flesh are gonna start to find any reason to convince me that that is not true, because they're trying to hold on to control, right? So it's like you look, I look at my bank account, it's like, no, I'm not as rich as I say I am, or I look at this or that, or like these views on my YouTube video, because I'm telling myself like I'm already acting as if like this is successful, and I talk to you guys like I'm already successful, right? But my mind is like, no, you're not successful at all, right? And so I had to catch myself, because it's like it's trying to bid for control. And so I realized it's really like, what would I be doing if money wasn't a problem? And whatever that answer is, do those things. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I like that. This feels very much in alignment, making these YouTube videos. Drawing feels very much in alignment. Photography, talking to my friends, playing video games, hanging out, being with my girlfriend. Like, being creative, thinking about ideas, building a startup. Like, all these things are in alignment to me. Well, now, obviously, like, I have a normal job. I have a 9 to 5. And when I think about that 9 to 5, it's like, of course, I wouldn't be doing this 9 to 5 if money wasn't a problem. Like, obviously, I wouldn't be doing this at all. But the way I justify that or whatever, think about that is like, oh yeah, I'm just in a transition period right now. Like, as my spirit is feeling like this, and my world is starting to align with how my spirit feels, or what my spirit knows, I'll start to transition towards that. And so I think I'll know when I'm ready to leave my job. Like, I'll know. And for the time being, I do really enjoy my job. I get to do a lot of creative things, like building newsletters, building websites, doing psychology stuff, doing wellness programs and initiatives and stuff like that. So in the meantime, it's still a great job. But I still wouldn't be doing it if I had, if money wasn't an issue, right? But so it's just like understanding this transition period. But what I'm trying to say is, because I was sitting there, I was like, side hustles, or like, even I thought about drop shipping for a little bit, and like thought about these things, but it still feels like I'm going outside of myself, because I'm doing this thing because I tell myself I need money, and I'm only pursuing this thing for the pursuit of money. And yes, if I really tried hard and I really pursued it, I could definitely be rich, but my heart would not be in alignment. I wouldn't feel good about myself, because the truth is, like, all these side hustles, like drop shipping, you're selling things. You're adding to consumerism and capitalism, which I just like don't like those things in general. Like, obviously I'm a little consumerist, I'll buy here and there, but like a lot of drop shipping is like selling cheap Chinese products, or cheap cheap overseas products, and then upmarking it to American population and being like, you need this thing. You're creating some sort of you're marketing to people, but it's like you're selling stuff that people don't need for the sake of selling it, for the sake of you getting money, and that, it feels really bad to me. And also, like, all that stuff is kind of going away due to the tariffs, and I forgot what that real big brain word for it is. It's like you don't have to pay tariffs on like goods that were from China that were less than $800, but that's been changed now, where it's like any good. So like places like Temu, AliExpress, like things like that are kind of getting cooked. And and the thing is, a lot of these people that do these things, they outsource their web to if they're doing a drop shipping, they outsource their web design to third world countries like Pakistani people or Philippines. I'm not saying these are third world, but like they outsource these things to other countries where they can pay them like really little bit. And in my head, I'm like, this is so unethical. Like, I would never do that. And there was part of me that was going to do that, and then I realized it's just not aligned with me, because it's not what I believe in. Like, and I don't want to. I'm not doing something for the sake of money just to do it. Like, this is like really enjoyable to me, because I just get to express myself in an open manner, and whether people are listening or not, this is just extreme catharsis for me. It's a way for me to reflect on the day. It's a way for me to stay present. It's a way for me to reground, especially after hard days, or in great days. It's for me to express extreme gratitude. And so I was thinking about that, and I was also thinking about this thing where, you know, if I'm manifesting whatever, right? And I'm saying I'm worthy enough for this, right? I'm worthy enough to receive this, whatever my want is, whatever whatever I'm trying to obtain, right? The issue with that is that implies that there was a point where you weren't worthy. And it's this weird thing where, like, me being born, me just existing means that I'm worthy. Like my existence deems me worthy, right? It's not, in God's eyes or the universe's eyes or whoever's eyes, it's like, when I was traumatized and I was like when I was a little teenager traumatized and I was like going out into the world in a very like negative way, that person was just as worthy. I mean, just because he's traumatized doesn't mean he's not worthy. Or, the little boy that just talked too much, like that boy was worthy of anything. And so it's acknowledging that there was that it's a fallacy to believe that I'm now worthy enough because I've done this deep shadow work and I've found the inner child and redeemed myself. It's the fact that I even think that there was something to redeem is a fallacy. I think I'm using that word right. Like, I've always been worthy and I've always been in alignment, and it's really just a matter of awareness whether I acknowledge that or not. And I mean, the last like 7 years, I was stuck in some sort of Tsukuyomi. I don't know if anyone watches Naruto, but yeah, like when Itachi or Sasuke was doing Tsukuyomi, like I was almost stuck in a Tsukuyomi where I believed that I was a bad person and that the way I felt good about myself was like being a victim, because it's like I don't have to be responsible for anything, because it's like, well, I'm just a bad guy and I listen to this sad music and I'm like sad all the time and I'm so comfortable being sad because it's all I know, and yada yada yada, and because I believed that it was so. And it's not as simple as like the next day I wake up and I tell myself I'm a great guy and I believe that. That's definitely not what happened at all. It was more so really, really, really deep shadow work to, because even what happened was like when I had this huge breakthrough in EMDR and I found after like 12 weeks and I found my inner child just sitting in my bedroom. I gave him a hug, right? And I thought that was it. I thought that, I found him, we're good, like therapy's over with. And I found out that was just not. I had a lot of tough weeks after that. And she told my therapist, was like, yeah, you think, oh, you took an x-ray of a broken bone and you saw that the bone is broken and that's like, now it's healed? I was like, damn. You right. So then it was really about reparenting. After finding him. Reparenting, reloving, That's the real work. And telling him he's the best. And that I love him. So I thought about that. Ooh, I'm trying to think of this other thing that my therapist said that was so cold. Oh, when I thought about God or the universe, I was thinking about, a lot of people are like, if you talk to God in a transactional way, like it's not going to work out, because relationships aren't transactional. And I told my therapist, I was like, I don't agree with that at all. Like, I wouldn't be with, I wouldn't be friends with X person if they didn't give me anything, whether that's like a listening ear, being a loving friend, like, giving me, providing humor, whatever it is. If they didn't provide me anything, then why would I be friends with them? It's vice versa. Like, if I didn't give them anything, such as like just being a listening ear, like, what, like that's transactional, is it not? And she said, when you get a sunburn from the sun, does the sun get anything in return? And I was like, damn, she's cooking up. Because that's so true. Like, the sun asks for nothing in return. And I think that's probably how I should perceive God or the universe. It's like, they just want me to talk to them. They want me to not, acknowledge myself or acknowledge them or acknowledge them through me, rather than being like, every time I go to talk to God, right, and I'm like, for years I was talking to God only when I needed something, to be like, I'm in a really bad place, I need you, and I'd be like on my hands and knees in the middle of the forest, like praying to God and being like, especially, I've had some, just really bad times, and I prayed to him, and it's like, things obviously get better, but I was wrong in assuming that the relationship was transactional. It should have been like, I should be coming to God when when I have a lot of gratitude, when I have a lot of angst, when there's excitement in my life, when there's anything. He's just a, a listening ear, a friend to talk to, and in some way, me talking to this camera is almost me just having conversation with him, or her, or they. I don't think God's some sort of is not confined by gender. It's just some sort of body of energy, or the universe. If everything's conscious. So yeah, this whole day has been, it was like real ungrounded. Then at lunchtime, I kind of took a walk, and I sat out on the balcony, and I was like I'm so blessed, like, and I just like thank God a lot, and I gratitude, through gratitude you get back to being in alignment is just a gratitude away, right? There's some gratitude, because as you keep, like, I was literally thanking God and talking about and all this stuff for like literally like 15 minutes, and after that I walked to my office. I was like, I'm ready to go, like I'm back, and then God, it's such a beautiful day. After work, so I've been meaning to go to this alchemy club, right? Actually, long story short, so a couple years ago, I built this blog site, and I would go to this coffee shop every day, and then all of a sudden I meet this guy. I look over and I see this guy doing blogs, and I meet him, and we go every single week. He teaches me about AI stuff. He teaches me about, like, he's in the world of crypto and NFT, and that's what he does for his job. He's like kind of like in that world. And we did it for a while. Like, we both were pretty successful at it, but then like we stopped talking because like life happened, and then like whatever. And so I dropped out of my master's program recently, within the last, like in January, I dropped out of my master's, and I was like, I need to find a co-founder. Like, if I want to make a startup and I want to build something, I need a co-founder. I need the operations person, because I'm the visionary, like, good ideas kind of person, and can kind of guide and do abstract thinking. I need an executioner, which was him. He was a great. So I asked him if he wanted to do it, and so he kind of referred me to this work club, and I've been meaning to go for a week, so I couldn't find a time, and I finally went today after work. And dude, it's the coolest building ever. Like, think of like if a old brick church was transformed into like a multi-room kind of work. Like, there's a room with a DJ room set. There's a bunch of, like, there's podcasting rooms. There's lounging areas. There's pianos. There's a whole like kitchen area. Then there's a whole like coffee shop that's like you get free coffee if if you're a member. And so, and it's only 24/7. And so I meet this lady that she's the operations person. And I don't know. I couldn't get a check, like a vibe check on her, but she kept saying like it's a neuro spicy place. Everyone here is like pretty neurodivergent. I think that's like my favorite, right? I'll get along with people like that all the time, because I'm probably on the spectrum a little bit. Yeah, we just sat down, we talked for a while. I couldn't get a read on her, to be frank. I didn't really. But she was very bubbly, and she kept saying, like, I don't know. I said something that came out of my mouth, and she was like, that's so weird that you said that. It was kind of like a synchronicity moment. And she kept just telling me like how magical this space was, and how magical, like how things happen like that. There's a lot of synchronicities that happen in the room we were in. She's like, this room just has consciousness, and I'm like, oh my god, I met someone that's like me. You know what I mean? This is cool, and so I don't know. I just was like, if you need anything, like, let me know. I'll do anything pro bono. Like, this is the coolest space ever. I can see she's a visionary person too, and I was like, I'll help you with whatever. And I feel like I just I just planted a seed that may reap at some point, or may grow, and I'll reap the rewards at some point. But I think by me saying that, I sowed something. And so, because she kept being like, I really have to go, like, I need to go. But then she would come back and talk to me for a while. And then we're like, we gotta go. And then I would, like, it was a really cool space. And so I'm excited to try that out. And then we go a couple more times, or maybe I'll just wait and see if the seed, wait for the seed to grow to a beautiful plant. So I did that. Dude, my time perception is so off. Like, I just looked at where that last video ended and it was like so long ago. Like, I think I talked for another like 10, 15 minutes. Dude, what was I even talking about? I don't know. Dang. I really need to like pay attention. I need to see the cut in the video and then. Anyways, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful Tuesday. Oh man, I'm trying to think of what I was talking about. Man, it's whatever. Alright. Guys, girls, gays, trans, whoever. They, them, these are non-binary, whoever it is. I hope you guys have a beautiful... Oh, I made sliders, so I'm about to go eat some... I made sliders, actually, so I'm going to eat sliders. But I hope you all have a beautiful day. And, yeah, I'll catch you guys on Tuesday. Dang, I literally missed out on so much